From the south edge of our farm to the north edge of our farm was almost a mile deep. There was a little over 300 acres here in what we call the home farm. This was the farm that my grandma and grandpa, my mom's mom and dad, purchased back in the early to mid 50s. We farmed about 1,000 acres, which in most people's terminology today wasn't much, but back then here in southern Illinois it was all in patches, so we had a lot of road travel, you know, getting from one patch to the next. We worked all the time. We were very busy, and we got caught up in the farm crunch of the late 70s, early 80s, when interest rates were high, and then we hit a couple of really awful crop years back to back. We stepped out of the business, and both of us went to work off the farm and still maintained the farm, kept the farm up, but farm went in CRP and set aside, and the livestock mostly went away. But there was a lot of sleepless nights. We spent a lot of time trying to figure out how we were going to pay the bills and how we were going to make things come out with our creditors, and it was a very, very difficult situation, one that I assured Paula that we weren't ever going to have to go through again. This space that we're standing in here now, which is the dining room table and chairs that we've incorporated into the rest of the house, was a den when we built the home, and it was our first office when we first purchased the business. It was 8 by 10 with a full closet, and it had a table in the middle. I had a chair on one side, you had a chair on the other side. Mm-hmm. I guess it was a good thing that I was out on the road most of the time asking people to try our seat, because you had more room then. You know, we didn't think anything about it. We thought that was, you know.
It was our beginnings, and
yeah, well, it wasn't just like it was. Yeah, it was normal. You know. By the way, it's 23 steps from the back door to the front door of the old office. More steps now. Yeah. This area here was wrapped in tables. We had rolled tables on rollers that were about this high that we worked off of, and had materials scattered all around here.
In the closets.
We had
those closets. They were
a conference table set up over there. This area was
conferencing
and
work area.
Yeah, it was a work area mostly. It was a work area here. It was a conference area there. We met as a staff every morning, every Monday morning. All employees met together, and we talked about the week, and we had a devotion and together prayed together about the week that we had ahead. This was accounting. Melissa her desk was back here, and another desk here. There was another person there. There was a receptionist up there. Amy's office was in here. We took a couple of walls down. There was a wall here and the doorway through into the accounting with the reception area out there. And then we actually had a place we set up for 2 people, but we had it wasn't very comfortable. We had one.
That's a lot of people in this room.
We had 7 or 8 at one time. This was all wrapped in counter.
Maximize our workspace.
Before we made this just accounting, this was the main office for everyone. I guess about 35 years ago or so, this company was based out of Olivia, Minnesota, and they had more than just a corn brand. They had sunflowers, they had soybeans, I think they had cereal grains. And there was a plane crash that involved the leaders of that business that lost their lives tragically. And our previous owner, John Rucker, then wound up with the business, that genetic line for not the whole business, but the genetic line for the corn. Because he only got part of the business, he couldn't go ahead and carry on the Master Farmer name, so he coined Master's Choice, meaning that it was the Master Farmer's choice of a brand. So Masters, meaning those folks who had been winning the yield competitions around the country with that brand, then were it was their choice of this line of corn, and John purchased that, and John was developing that, and because of his hard work and research in developing corn hybrids that he was selecting for extraordinary disease tolerance and insect resistance, was the reason that we've got the corn that's as ideally suited to livestock nutrition as it is today. John was really breeding corn unusually. He was breeding for higher sugar bricks, which what he wanted to achieve was more insect resistance, more disease tolerance. But he wasn't necessarily breeding for livestock nutrition, and so we brought that element in, as from the nutrition side that intrigued him, and it developed a very unique bond between John and our family as we begin to work there. And so it encouraged John, I think, to see that if the future of Master's Choice was going to be all that he could dream that it would be. I think he saw that as an avenue, working with our family to help to promote that.
When John approached us about buying the business, Lynn at first says, no, I like the relationship just the way it is. So Andrew and I, we were all praying about it. But we just really felt like God was leading us to do this. And because it's something that we had prayed about before, even that we would like to have a family business that we could pass on and that we could run together and do things together. I remember that the evening that Lynn had finally relented and said, yes, I think that God is leading us to this. John was picking up the phone to call Lynn, and Lynn had picked up the phone to call John. So they both got this busy signal. But finally, John got through, and Lynn says, I was just getting ready to call you. And John said, Lynn, I've been praying about this, and I really feel like God's telling me that you are supposed to have this business, and I'm going to make it to where you can. And so it all came together there, and we just really feel like it was a blessing and God ordained. And so God answered our prayers.
Yeah, for me and my part, I'm just thrilled to be a part of it. I'm thrilled with the way God's blessed our family, and I'm just so thankful that I get to wake up and work with my family that I love and my closest friends in life, and we get to do something together and work towards something together and build something. And it's just it's an opportunity that not very many people get to have, is to be part of something that's bigger than themselves, and something that you can kind of give back to the kingdom of God and give back to your community and to your friends. Like I feel blessed and fortunate every morning when I wake up.
It's a unique opportunity that God's given us, and we aren't that smart, so it's obviously a God thing. But it's just a fantastic opportunity to do something, like you said, not only globally make an impact, but obviously here in the community with good employment opportunities, and also for our families. Being able to pass this down to my kids is something I look forward to greatly. Just awesome in the way God works.
Yeah, the future's exciting, and I'm looking forward to the future with my family and my friends, and to continue to make a difference out there in the farming community.
That and 4 little grandkids under the age of 3 years old.
Watch those little ones get in the tractor with Pop.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't get any better.
No, it really doesn't.